Well, much of the Great Plains and western U.S. is experiencing drought following one of the driest winters on record. Producers are now wondering what they can expect this summer and how to best prepare. Curtis Riganti with the UNL National Drought Mitigation Center helps track current conditions, and he joins us now for an update. Curtis, thanks so much for being here. So tell us about the National Drought Mitigation Center. How does your team track drought?
So we're an organization at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln, and our mission is to basically help people to reduce the effects of drought on them by monitoring drought and through drought research and drought planning.
So what are the drought conditions that we're seeing currently in different regions? I know this has been a battle in certain areas of the country.
Yeah, so in short right now, the western United States and the central and southern Great Plains are very dry. We're seeing widespread, severe, extreme, and exceptional drought. Some good news is that in the last week or so, we have seen increased precipitation, particularly in parts of the Great Plains. So the worst conditions right now are mostly occurring in the central and southern high plains, particularly eastern New Mexico, the Texas Panhandle, western Oklahoma, southwest Kansas, where extreme and exceptional drought conditions. So by definition, the fifth worst percentiles of conditions are occurring. We monitor drought by looking at statistics and ranking them basically. So about the 5 worst percent is some of the worst areas that we're seeing in that part of the country right now. So some areas have improved recently, that in particular the western Dakotas regions, the upper Midwest, and the western Great Lakes have seen some improvements, as well as parts of the south central United States. And we'll likely see more improvements after the last week or so of rainfall. And some of those improvements may continue going forward into parts of the High Plains region as we go into May, based on the latest National Weather Service outlooks.
Well, that's great to hear about these improvements. But tell us how the situation compares historically to other droughts that you've seen.
Yeah, so the situation we're seeing right now, particularly in parts of the plains and west, compares a lot to some of the droughts that we've seen over the past decade in terms of severity. So again, by definition, extreme and exceptional drought areas are within about the 5% worst droughts that you see. So
can you talk about some of the tools that are available for producers and homeowners that they can use in planning and obviously, getting through this drought situation? What can they do?
Yes, so one tool that you can use is to look at the weekly updates of the U.S. Drought Monitor. You can find that at droughtmonitor.unl.edu. Another useful tool for forage producers could be GrassCast. That's GRASSCAST. And what that does is it uses historical weather and forage data and then updated weather information from this year to forecast different scenarios of forage production through the rest of the growing season. So feel free to look for that. And then finally, you can reach out to people at a local level, such as University Extension staff, Natural Resources Conservation Service, local soil and water conservation experts, and people who have lived in your area for a long time who have learned how to deal with drought.
Absolutely. Curtis, just great information. Thank you so much for your insight and for joining us. That's Curtis Riganti with the UNL National Drought Mitigation Center. Again, we appreciate you joining us.